Well, we turn now to the Reddit forum, which, as we talked about earlier, sort of birthed many of these meme stock ideas and still is even today. We want to bring in the man who founded that, although he's no longer associated with it. Jaime Rogozinski is the founder of WallStreetBets, the forum on Reddit. And Jaime, talk to us about your thinking about the forum now, what it has become, and sort of what you first intended it to be versus now.
Well, first off, thanks a lot for having me. And what started off as a forum for people to get together and discuss these high risk trades has carved out a space for them in the market so that it's grown so much so that the individuals collectively make a participant in the market that's the same size as a hedge fund and equally as clever as the hedge fund. A lot of times there's a lot of talk about how the retail investors, they don't know what they're doing, whatever. But time and time again, they've proven to be able to spot these inefficiencies and jump on them. You know, I noticed a lot of talk about these short squeeze and that's what they're going for. But if you really look back at what the types of things that they're doing, they're looking for inefficiencies in the market and they're looking to profit from them. They've been doing that for several years.
Well, and, Jaime, we were talking earlier about Keith Gill, and, this all started the GameStop saga, at least, as you kind of trace it back. And he wasn't the only person who circled this idea. But, you watch Keith's videos, and he obviously has thought about this name. He knows what he's doing. And I guess as you look back at, the beginning of WallStreetBets, and go way back, Yahoo stock forums and all that, there's certainly pumpers on that stuff, but it feels like ultimately, the forum was stood up as a way for people who knew what they were talking about, but maybe weren't working at a hedge fund to discuss ideas in the market. And that maybe what happens today on WSB isn't quite exactly, how you'd hoped it would be back in the day.
No, I mean, it's turned out into something better, right? You have now a collective of millions of market beta testers on the actual stock market and making it more efficient and making it more productive, right? Like before GameStop made it really famous, we had a lot of incidents. One incident where a guy took out infinite margin, right? Or the free money cheat code, as it was called, where he put in $5,000 and he discovered this oversight by the broker and basically ended up getting a massive amount of buying power, right? Obviously, we're able to address that. With regards to being able to move prices around, I noticed that you had Virgin Galactic on there earlier. Virgin Galactic was actually on the radar January-ish of 2020 when they made the cover of Business Week magazine because they were doing a different maneuver called a delta squeeze or later a gamma squeeze, right? This is a maneuver with stock options that's able to really leverage the big money from the large funds to be able to push the price up more easier, right? But then you have situations where you have so many people coming in there making so much volatility that the brokers broke, with Robinhood having to stop trading GameStop as well as many of the other brokers, right? But now that's being addressed as well, right? They're talking about the settlement dates. And last I saw, the SEC was also looking at changing the incentives for these payment for order flow companies. So every time these guys get together, they find a way to profit, and they do, and then the system has to kind of catch up, and they have to plug in these inefficiencies and make the whole thing better.
Jaime, what we're seeing in some of these stocks, AMC, BlackBerry, you name it, is that market manipulation?
I mean, what's market manipulation? You have people that are buying and you have people that are selling, right? Like if you have a fraudulent intent, it's somebody that goes up there and lies and says, oh, BlackBerry's got this new hologram cell phone that does whatever, and it's a lie, that's market manipulation and that's fraud and it's illegal, et cetera, right? It's really clearly defined. If you work for a company and you're starting to promote it without disclosing it, or if you have too much ownership, more than I think 5% of the stocks, then blah, blah, blah. There's really clear regulations, but people coming together and say, let's just push this price to the moon and being really transparent and there's no defrauding taking place. That's absolutely what the market is.
All right, Jaime, really interesting stuff about what continues to go on here in those market opportunities that people are taking advantage of. Jaime Rogozinski was the founder of WallStreetBets. Thanks, Jaime.